What's going on, Jerome's? I will argue that the off season is the most exciting part of any professional sports league. Like, screw championship games, screw big time games. They don't even know what that's like, man. But free agency, trades, all the movement, that's really cool, especially what's going on with the NBA right now. But even though for the NFL, free agency is done, trade season is largely done, the NFL draft is already done, and we're just a month away from training camp, there's still some room for some trades, and some big time names are available, man. So here are 5 blockbuster NFL trade destinations before the season. So starting off at the top, Jimmy G got that shoulder thing. Yeah, minor details. Jimmy G didn't have a strong arm to begin with, and also he's got a bum shoulder, whatever. But where does he end up? Because it's clear that it's time for no pants for Trey Lance, the pride of Marshall, Minnesota, who the Gophers did not offer, which pissed me off. Anyway, where does Jimmy G end up? Beep, bop, 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 boop. Carolina Panthers for a 2023 4th-round pick. Now, the Panthers picking up some of that salary. That they do have some of that salary cap space. Matt Rule and Fritterer, the GM, they're super desperate. They got to win some games, otherwise it's gonna be David Tepper's going to cut him loose, man. So they look around their quarterback room. Sam Darnold, no. Matt Corral, probably a couple years away from being that guy. Jimmy G does give you the best chance right now, and they're not going to pull off the trade for Baker. He's going somewhere else in our blockbuster trade. So Jimmy G is going to be the best that you can do. And also, it should be telling that the Niners are just so quick to trade him in conference. Just like, there you go. There you go, bro. Next up, the aforementioned Baker Mayfield. Now, the Browns, given that Deshaun is probably going to be suspended this entire year, maybe even more, the Browns shouldn't have been so quick to just send Baker off to away with you. Now, Baker's got some hurt feelings, obviously, and I think that he's done with the Browns, and now he ends up in the only real place that makes sense. So the Seattle Seahawks, where I saw the thing about the fake Baker Mayfield jersey at the NFL shop for the Seahawks, whatever. I still think it's going to get done. Traded to the Seahawks for a 2023 5th-round pick, as well as picking up some of that salary, where, I mean, Baker does give the Seahawks a better chance to win than Drew Lock, does give them a better chance to win than Geno Smith. And, I mean, for Pete Carroll and John Schneider, they got to start winning some games, because even though the team is owned by a trust at this point, I mean, they haven't been the Seahawks of old for the last couple of years, and that's including with Russell Wilson, by the way. And John Schneider's draft picks have been whatever. Some of the trades, some of the free agent signings have not been great either. But does Baker make the difference between winning, I don't know, 7, 8 games versus winning 4? Even though, I mean, theoretically, if you're not going to make the playoffs and have a chance to make some noise, is it better just to tear it down? I don't know, man. But Baker ends up in Seattle. Next up, so Robert Quinn with the Bears. Now, the Bears and Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, the IKEA toilet, they've made it very clear that they're trying to go young, and they're trying to get some of the big contracts off the books. They got rid of Allen Robinson. They got rid of Khalil Mack. And now Robert Quinn, he wants a new contract, because, I mean, if you break Richard Dent's single-season franchise sack record, you're doing pretty good. And there's a bunch of teams out there who are looking for players that can get after the quarterback. So Arizona, beep, bop, 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 boop, come a calling for a 2023 3rd-round pick. So he goes out to Arizona, tries to replace Chandler Jones. Quinn still has some decent football left in him. Get him out of the division, and for that we thank you. So he heads out to Arizona. Next up, or lastly, actually, how do we do this? Zoom in and enhance. There we go. All right, so last two wide receivers. So Dionte Johnson quietly has been away from OTAs and minicamp, and the holdout is on. Like, all the press has been talking about Deebo, but Dionte Johnson, low-key, wants out of Pittsburgh as well. And with Dionte, I don't put him in the same strata as the elite receivers. He's good, don't get me wrong, but he's not a scary Terry McLaurin. He is not a Justin freaking Jefferson for sure. But does he deserve to be paid? Yes. Does he want to get out of Pittsburgh? I mean, Pittsburgh has been investing in his replacements over and over in the draft. So where does he end up? traded to the Raiders for a 2023 third-round pick. Now, the Raiders, they have Devontae Adams. Yes. They have Hunter Renfrow. Yes. They have Darren Waller, who's one of the better receiving tight ends in the game, but they don't really have much else. So Dionte Johnson, even though the Steelers trading him in conference, trading him to a historical rival, immaculate reception ends up in Las Vegas. So Dionte Johnson, welcome to the silver and black. Lastly, Deebo. So a lot of talk about where Deebo is going to end up. Is he going to get paid? Is he not going to get paid? I think at the end of the day, John Lynch is just like, yeah, we're not going to be strong-armed. We are the Niners. I'm John Lynch. Blah. I brought Kwesi Adofo-Mensah in this league, man. Like the best general manager in the National Football League. I helped birth him from my canal, man. So Deebo, I don't think is going to be long for the Niners, even though it would be stupid for them to get rid of him. But Deebo ends up in the other conference, the Indianapolis Colts. So the Colts send a 2023 first and a third to San Francisco. Now, they've done business before. GM of the Colts, Chris Ballard, as well as John Lynch, the DeForest Buckner trade a couple years ago. And Deebo would be a lot of fun. Even though it's ironic because Deebo and Paris Campbell sort of have a lot of talent crossover, but Deebo and Paris Campbell and Pittman Jr. are just trying to keep the corpse of Matt Ryan afloat does make a little bit of sense. Also, they have Alec Pierce from the Cincinnati Bearcats, so they're going to be good to go in Indianapolis. And the Niners get some more draft picks. They can build around Trey Lance going forward, so and that's whatever there. But that's it. Let's take a look at five Blockbuster NFL trades going down before the season. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts on the trades and whatnot. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.